You open your laptop at 9 in the morning. You close it at 5. In between, you type some words into a text editor and somehow made 6 figures. That's what people think a software developer's life looks like. The real numbers are far stranger. Let's start with the paycheck everyone talks about. In the United States, the median salary for a software developer is around $130,000 a year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That number gets repeated on every career forum, every YouTube thumbnail, every parent's dinner table speech, but a median hides more than it reveals. Half of developers make less than that. Some make a third of it. A handful make 10 times more. The spread in this profession is wider than almost any other white-collar job in existence. Why? Because software development isn't one job. It's dozens of jobs wearing the same job title. A developer at a 5-person startup in a mid-sized city might make $70,000 a year and write code that nobody outside the company will ever see. A developer at a large tech company in a major metro area might make $300,000, including stock, for work that touches millions of users. Same title. Same degree sometimes. Completely different financial universe. This is the part nobody puts in the recruiting brochure. Location changes everything. A developer role in a high-cost, high-demand city can pay nearly double the same role in a smaller market. But cost of living eats a huge chunk of that gap. Rent alone can consume what would have been a comfortable raise. So the 6-figure salary that looked like freedom on paper starts to look a lot more ordinary once the lease is signed. Here's another number worth sitting with. Depending on the source, somewhere between 50 and 60% of software developers report feeling burned out at some point in their careers. That's not a small minority. That's more than half. The image of the developer sipping coffee and casually solving puzzles all day skips over the on-call rotations, the 3 a.m. pages when a server goes down, the sprint deadlines that arrive faster than the last one ever really ended. You were told this job was stable. Stable compared to what? Layoffs in tech have hit tens of thousands of workers in recent years. Some of them in single announcements from companies that were profitable the same quarter they cut staff. The stability myth cracked hard. Developers who thought they were untouchable learned that code doesn't protect you from a spreadsheet decision made 2 floors above your desk. But here's where the story bends, because it's not all warning signs. Despite the burnout, despite the layoffs, despite the wide pay gap between the best and worst outcomes, developers still report some of the highest job satisfaction numbers of any profession tracked by major workforce surveys. That seems like a contradiction. It isn't. The people who love this job don't love it for the paycheck. They love it because building something from nothing but logic and syntax is one of the only jobs left where you can watch an idea become a real, working thing in the same afternoon you thought of it. That feeling doesn't show up on a salary chart, but it shows up in why people stay, even during the bad years. So, who actually thrives in this career? Not the person chasing the median salary number they saw online. The person who thrives is the one who treats the first few years like an apprenticeship, not a payday. Early career developers often make far less than the number that gets quoted in headlines. The real growth curve isn't linear. It's closer to flat, 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 then a steep climb once you've built real experience, shipped real products, and learned to work with other humans, not just compilers. That last part surprises people the most. The single biggest predictor of long-term success in this field isn't raw coding talent, it's communication. Developers who can explain a technical trade-off to a non-technical manager, who can write a clear message instead of a defensive one, who can sit in a meeting without treating it as a personal attack on their code. Those are the ones who get promoted, get retained during layoffs, and get the offers nobody else sees. Nobody puts that in the bootcamp advertisement either. Let's talk about the hidden cost that never makes it into salary comparisons. Technology changes fast. What you learned 5 years ago might be considered outdated today. That means a developer's education never actually ends. Every year includes some invisible, unpaid tax of learning new tools, new frameworks, new ways of doing the same fundamental work. Miss too many years of that tax, and your market value quietly erodes even while your salary stays the same. You can be standing still while the ground moves under you, and the paycheck won't tell you it's happening. So, should you do it? Here's the honest answer, the one that doesn't fit neatly into a thumbnail. If you're chasing the median salary number because it looked good in a headline, this job will probably disappoint you. The people who wash out are usually the ones expecting comfort and stability from day one. But if you're the kind of person who genuinely likes solving small, frustrating puzzles, who doesn't mind being a beginner again every few years, who can handle uncertainty without it wrecking your sense of self-worth, the odds tilt heavily in your favor. This is a field with real ceilings, and those ceilings are higher than in almost any other profession you could pick without a graduate degree. Note for the viewer standing at the crossroads right now, the one comparing this path to something else on their list. The real decision was never software developer versus some other job. It's this. Are you choosing a career for the number you saw once on a screen, or for the way you actually want to spend your Tuesday afternoons for the next 20 years? You opened your laptop at 9 in the morning. You closed it at 5. What happens in between is the only part of this decision that was ever really up to you.